In the United States, in many, if not all, of the public schools, sex education begins in kindergarten and first grade. And the content of that sexual education in the state schools in the United States of America today is teaching the children, by the time they are in the third grade, if not earlier, that lesbianism and sodomy are alternate lifestyles, are perfectly acceptable, if not the preferred way of sexual expression and enjoyment. With regard to professing Christians and the churches, parents allow their children to watch such videos. And churches, including nominally conservative churches, tolerate and thus approve that young people who are members of the congregation live together, apart from and before marriage. The third form that the revolution takes today is that Western nations and societies are sanctioning, indeed wallowing in, pornography. The word pornography derives from the Greek word for prostitute or whore, porne. That's the word that Paul uses at the end of 1 Corinthians 6 when he condemns fornication and the prostitute or the whore. Pornography literally then is writing that has to do with the prostitute. Pornography is sexual filth produced for the pleasure of one who reads or hears or looks on this sexual filth. The forces of the lawless, demonic, and ungodly are flooding the United States of America with pornography. This pornography consists of magazines, videos, movies, television, adult entertainment hellholes, and especially the internet. In preparation for this speech, I compelled myself to read a recent, widely acknowledged, scholarly, scientific study of pornography in the United States. And I emphasize the word compelled. That book is Pamela Paul's Pornified, How Pornography is Transforming Our Lives. The publication dated 2005, a recent publication therefore. I content myself with saying this morning that the nature and extent of sexual filth readily available to everybody and being enjoyed by multitudes, perhaps even a majority of males in the United States, the extent and nature of this sexual filth are appalling. The United States is now old, decadent Rome, Corinth, and Sodom and Gomorrah combined and developed to a pitch of sexual violence as, pray God, true Christians do not even imagine. The acids of pornography are decaying and dissolving relationships and destroying souls and lives of all who indulge in pornography. The book of Proverbs tells us fathers that we must speak bluntly to our sons, and by implication to our daughters, concerning the perils of what Proverbs calls the strange woman, and by implication, the strange man. Although there is more to the warning than only that the strange woman will destroy the young man who goes down to her house. That is certainly an aspect of the warning. Warning that Christian fathers must give to their sons and Christian mothers must give to their daughters today must include the warning against pornography. It is as dangerous, as enslaving, a better word than addictive, enslaving, as drugs or alcohol. They must not even open the first page of the magazine. They mustn't click on even once to see what it's all about, the pornographic site on the internet. There is a power in pornography that takes hold of the one who dabbles in it. That apart from the grace of God will destroy him or destroy her, to say nothing of the dishonor to God on the part of those who profess Christianity. And then fourthly, regarding the revolution, the sexual revolution, and the forms that this revolution takes. Western nations and societies are approving and promoting homosexuality, sodomy, and lesbianism. Canada has legalized homosexual marriage. The United States lags just a little behind, but is working towards such a law. And just before we Americans came here, the federal judge in the state of California struck down a law passed by referendum of the citizens of the state outlawing homosexual marriage, so that law is null and void, which means that now it is legal in the state of California to accomplish sodomite and lesbian marriages. Again, the media beat the drum for it as good and acceptable. Even conservative politicians and the right-wing news commentators on television express approval of homosexuality, although they sometimes hesitate to sanction homosexual marriage. The liberal churches are the most ardent advocates. There are some supposedly conservative churches that approve the homosexual desire as good and honorable, although yet they are disapproving the expression of the homosexual inclination and tendency. The deed, they still say, is sinful. The approval and open practice of homosexuality represent the nadir, the low point of rebellion against God by fallen man. Paul teaches that in Romans 1, verses 18 and following. Lawlessness, he writes, advances to such a degree that it rages finally against natural law, against law inscribed in nature itself, the physical differences between males and females. He speaks of women, with women working that which is against nature. The word is females, and of males abandoning the use of the female.